Let's bring on Olu and figure out what he thought about it. Olu, hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
Fantastic. Happy to have you on. Congratulations on the win on Sunday. What was it like getting that news that you'd be starting? When did you find out, and were you excited, nervous? How'd you feel?
I found out Wednesday morning, and I was just excited. I love the game of ball, and I love every opportunity I get to play this game because, it's not always guaranteed.
Hey, Olu, did when they named you the starter, and it's kind of like, hey, you have the mantle now, does it give you a little bit more confidence, like less to think about? I mean, I always experienced that, like as a backup, I had to fight to get in there, and once I was a starter, it kind of settled down for me. Did you feel any sort of differently at all being the starter going into this game?
Yeah, it always gives you a little confidence, a little more confidence. You're playing with the ones. And then obviously, like, the organization believes in you to elevate you to the starting spot, whatever the circumstances may be. So, yeah, it added a little bit of confidence.
Hey, Olu, I'm going to talk about something. It's kind of a negative, but it's a positive to me, man. You had a snap that was hot, right? Went by Geno, and they zoomed in on your face, and you were smiling. And I was telling my boys, I go, that's how you do it. I was talking to my kids. I go, you got to shake stuff off and positive, reinforcement. I was listening to Mookie Betts talk. And he said whenever he makes a mistake, he just tells himself, we good, let's get going. How do you respond to stuff like that? Do you talk to yourself, or you kind of just laugh it off like you did and say, all right, on to the next?
It's a little bit of both. I'm positive self-talk when things are going well, when things are going bad. But also, like, one thing I learned when I was in college is just that, like, you can't always control the outcome of things. And bad things are, going to happen from time to time, but you just continue to plow forward.
Do you ever have anything where you go, well, it can't be worse than this? Like, I think all of us in our lives, it could be like a horrible injury we had, a horrible surgery we had, a really horrible day or something in life where we go, okay, whatever's happening in this moment cannot be worse than this. Do you have that moment in your life where you just look back at it and go, I made it through that, so I'm good?
Yeah, I think back to, like, going through training camp, and I'm like, it can't be worse than, like, the yesterday of training camp. So, like,
right.
That's what if I'm in training camp, that's what I think. I'm one step closer to training camp being over. And then if I'm during the season, I'm like, this is nowhere as bad as training camp was. So.
Hey, Olu, I've been kind of looking at a certain play, over and over again, and it had to do with Abe Lucas. It was a pass to A.J. Barner, and you can see that he just sprints downfield and hits the pile. You did pretty much the same thing, and I'm just curious, like, just seeing one guy do that kind of thing. Does that kind of change the culture a little bit? And, him doing that, like, you see him hustling downfield, and he's coming off a knee and all that stuff. And I just thought that was a great way to set the tone. Is that something that you guys look at in film and go, hey, I want to play that way as well?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, the organization, coaches, all the way down to players, we always try to reinforce the positive, clean up the bad. And when something like that happens, you want to reinforce it because you want everybody else to see it and be like, okay, that's what I want to do every play, or try to do every play.
Hey, Olu, my rookie season, I didn't get to play until week 4 or 5. And I played something like 35 or 40 snaps, and I could not believe how sore my body was. I'm like, man, I've been training for this. You played every snap last game. How's that body feeling?
It actually didn't feel too bad. My legs felt good. My upper body was sore. I'm not going to lie. My neck, my arms, my traps, that stuff was sore. My legs held up pretty well.
How do you typically relax then? Are you like I'm going to sit back and if I'm not studying film, watch TV, eat? Do you try to get out and work out more? How have you tried to take it easy on your body this week?
There's really no taking it easy. You just got to use Monday and Tuesday to, get your lift in, recover, keep moving around so you continue to get soreness out, and then prepare for Wednesday. But, on my off day, I definitely got to spend time with the wife because that's the time when, I kind of get to be intentional with my time with her.
Good man. That will serve you well. Hey, Olu, there's always a guy that stands out every week. Everybody in the NFL is phenomenally good. And you look at Bosa last week, but what about this week when you're looking at Arizona? Name us a couple of guys on their defense that really stand out that you've been paying particular attention to.
Yeah, obviously their defense kind of starts and ends with Budda Baker. They kind of built the defense around him. He's all over the place. He's not that big of a dude, but you couldn't tell how he plays the game. Kaiser White, number 7. He's a very good, instinctive linebacker in the pass game and in the run game. And then their scheme just allows for disruption because teams can't make the right points just because it's a defense that is built to confuse offenses. So, we have a great challenge mentally this week to kind of deal with that, with hopefully making great points, and if we don't, fixing it post snap, and then obviously if things go wrong, then dealing with that too. So, we're just excited for this opportunity.
Olu, you just said dudes. That reminds me of a guy that you know pretty well.
Big Ray.
Big Ray Roberts, right? You're buddies with him, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a physical game, and things change throughout the year when it comes to a football team. And offensively, I think that there have been like some highs and lows throughout the season. But when you look at the positives, what steps forward do you think this offense is making when it comes to just getting better every single week?
I definitely think the run game is improving, and it's something that we're going to have to continue to lean on if we want to be a playoff team, if we want to win this division. So I think that's something that's improving, and we're just going to continue to chip away at that. I think being a more consistent offense, I think that's something that is improving. Even though we have lost a good bit of games over the last 6 weeks or whatever, I think we're becoming more consistent. Like, earlier in the season we were scoring points, we were explosive, but we would have feast or famine. I think now there's less famine and just not as much feasting probably, but just play in and play out more consistency. And if we continue just to stack that, then, by the end of the season, hopefully we can have the feasting plus consistency.
Hey, last one here, Olu, before we let you go. We know you got a very busy week. We've been interviewing quite a few of the offensive linemen on the Huddle this year, and almost every single lineman, I think we've said, like, okay, whose turn is it for dinner? And, like, who's paying and where are you guys going? So I'll throw it your way. Olu, have you already had to buy dinner for the line? Where'd you go? And if not, where's the plan?
No, I'm not up yet. I'm probably going to be our last home game because it goes youngest to oldest, and then the rookies cover it at the end of the year. But I don't know, probably a steakhouse or, I'm thinking about that whenever it comes. But this week is Jason Peters.
Nice. The veteran gets in there. He is Olu Oluwatimi, kind enough to join us on the Huddle. Thanks so much, Olu. Good luck Sunday.
Thanks, Olu.
All right, thank you. Bye.